high position gerecht.
Alright. Welcome back to another stream of Assassin's Creed Origins. With stream number 13, we're already quite deep into the playthrough. And yeah, we are going to explore the Siege of Alexandria today between 48 and 47 BC. Between Cleopatra and Caesar together against Ptolemy and the Order of the Ancient in this game. And yeah, we're gonna really trigger some pretty deciding events, I guess, both about the history of Egypt, but also about Barix and Aya's personal journey during this time. Also welcome in Mr. Godi, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're having a nice Sunday. And we are going to start with a discovery tour today, because there's still, I think, 2 discovery tours in the Heraclean, where we met Cleopatra last time. To talk about the next steps, and also where Pompey has been assassinated by none other than Septimius and the Ptolemies. And Pompey, of course, was like one of the major guys in the Roman Republic that Cleopatra wanted to side with, and ultimately overtake, the Ptolemies' armies, and her brother, of course, being the current pharaoh, thinking that she's more deserving of a title. Oh, very nice, Godi. That sounds like a good time. So, is Romulus like a TV show or something? I haven't actually heard of it. Alright, so we have the Flora of ancient Egypt. Quite fittingly in the Nile Delta, because that's of course one of the most lush and lively areas, with the yearly inundation of the Nile, bringing rich soil and fertile lands, lots of vegetation and with it animals. Speaking of which, the crocodile just ran past. Learn about the flora of ancient Egypt.
Welcome to Flora of Ancient Egypt. The climate and unique geography of the Nile Delta offered a wide variety of plant species. Many of these plants served as sustenance for ancient Egyptians and as crops for trade. The Nile's consistent seasons allowed Egypt to sustain itself for centuries. Possibly the most useful of the plants was the papyrus. This tall sedge plant grew in abundance along the water's edge of the Nile. Commonly known for its use as paper, the ancient Egyptians found many other functions for it, including rope, sandals, and mats. Papyriform boats made from the plant are seen in paintings and reliefs, and were used in ritualistic ceremonies. There were many types of trees along the River Nile, such as the date palm, carob, and tamarisk. The earliest fruit tree cultivated was the fig tree, followed by apple, pomegranate, and eventually olive trees during the era of the New Kingdom. Mango cultivation was the result of a late import from Asia during the Middle Ages.
Mangoes? But I don't tell Dutch Vanderland about it. The antagonist of Red Dead Redemption 2? Well, ally and antagonist, I guess. But, yeah, he's definitely obsessed about mango harvest. It's like the new Wild West, pretty much. Just go to Tahiti, harvest some mangoes, and live like a king.
Some trees were associated with gods, such as the acacia with Horus. The divinities Thoth and Seshat were depicted inscribing the reign of the king into a Persea tree. The sycamore was connected with the goddess Iset, patron of the ritual of life. Whoa.
It's kind of funny how you can mess around with guards in the Discovery Tour mode. And there's like no combat or aggro, so there's no repercussions either. Jean-Francois Champollion. Learn how hieroglyphs were identified and deciphered.
Welcome to Jean-Francois Champollion. Between the 5th century CE and the Renaissance, knowledge of hieroglyphs was entirely lost. Many enthusiasts tackled the challenge of deciphering the language with little success. Some groundwork was made with various researchers identifying names and some grammatical structure, and confirming that cartouches were markers for royal names. They were still missing a critical piece of information that would eventually be revealed thanks to the discovery of the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, we've learned about the Rosetta Stone already, early in hieroglyphs. It's basically a stone that had Egyptian hieroglyphs telling a story, but then underneath it directly a perfectly Greek translation. With, you know, the importance of like speaking in two languages, pretty much. Coming up more and more, especially, you know, I mean, it's showcased especially later with the Ptolemies, like literally a Greek dynasty taking over the entire country. And that's kind of like one of the main sources that made it possible to understand how hieroglyphs were really to be understood. in their structure.
The Rosetta Stone was found in 1799 by Bouchard, a soldier in Napoleon's army. The stela dates from 196 BCE, written in ancient Egyptian and Greek with 3 scripts: hieroglyphics, Demotic, and Greek alphabet. Following the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte in 1801, the English took possession of the stone. It has been at the British Museum since 1802 and remains the most visited object of the museum to date.
Sorry guys, give me just 1 sec. Alright, sorry about that. Took a bit longer, but yeah, we are back with more of a Discovery Tour mode. And the Rosetta Stone, the one I just talked about, that had both hieroglyphs and a Greek translation.
The first translation was of the Greek section only in 1803. It detailed a decree of Pharaoh Ptolemy V, reminding the citizens that their pharaoh had led Egypt to prosperity. It was fully translated 20 years after by Jean-Francois Champollion, who was working with a facsimile. Through his studies of the stone, Champollion was able to make a critical observation that would unlock the whole mystery, that hieroglyphics were not only ideograms, but also phonograms. Hieroglyphs consist of phonetic glyphs, single characters, and logograms. Essentially, they are a combination of phonetics, alphabet, and full words, which in total form a language.
I think it's so cool, like the idea of using, you know, like pictures and like expressions. You know, instead of like having it more abstract, it's kind of like also understood just by not even like knowing the meaning of every little thing, but also like just observing it, you know? Because certain gestures, you know how to kind of like interpret in relation to others.
While studying the stone, Champollion realized that there was a difference in the number of hieroglyphic characters in relation to the number of Greek characters for the same word. This led him to believe that hieroglyphs must have phonetic characteristics. This was the first step to unlocking the Rosetta Stone's secrets. To prove this theory, Champollion began identifying Egyptian rulers' names and then compared their phonetic pronunciation to the Greek version. For example, Cheops had been the Greek name given by ancient chroniclers to the owner of the Great Pyramid, Khufu. The next step for Champollion was to confirm that his approach was verifiable by using the Phylake obelisk as an additional reference. Engraved in the obelisk are two inscriptions in Egyptian hieroglyphs and Greek. Once he confirmed the names of Ptolemy and Cleopatra within these texts and confirmed the same phonetic patterns as on the Rosetta Stone, Champollion knew he was on the right track. Champollion had already mastered several ancient languages when he took on deciphering the Rosetta Stone. He used his knowledge of Coptic to identify the solar disk hieroglyph on the obelisk as the phonetic translation of Ra. Further translation only strengthened his conclusion. Egyptian hieroglyphs encompass the alphabet in both phonetics and determinative ways, which means that the symbol represents the word itself.
And there we go. Yeah, we can really thank Napoleon lots of ways for our understanding of hieroglyphs and also understanding ancient Egypt just a lot better, you know. Because without it, who knows how long it would have taken us to actually find something that, you know, featured something like this. A direct translation in its original form, not to be misunderstood. With a bit of room of interpretation, of course, but giving you a very good idea of how these signs were to be understood. The amount of details you can see on the walls in this game is absolutely stunning. Truly impressive even today, I think, from a technical perspective. Alright, so this finishes the 2 discovery tours in Heraklia and Nome. So the next ones will be in relation to the Siege of Alexandria, which we're about to do as a main quest. We're gonna take care of the siege after finishing the main quest, because that way we don't get any kind of like spoilers potentially on the outcomes. And Cleopatra we're gonna be doing maybe also afterwards, or maybe even later, because I might also talk about her death. But to be fair, after Alexandria we don't get to see too much of Cleopatra anymore. Except for the, you know, like ending of the game when Aya's confronting her one more time. But yeah, so the only thing remaining after that will be a very short desert-related one. Then the Katara Depression, very short as well. And then basically in the Green Mountains and Sarene. And then we're done. We also still got the one for the Sphinx. But yeah, that one we will be doing once we actually go into the Sphinx and uncover its secret in the game. But yeah, for now we're gonna go back to the main game and we're gonna take care of triggering the battle and the Siege of Alexandria soon. So playing as Aya currently. For this chapter at least. But we're still working together with Bike here.
It is a dead end, my lady.
I will double check. Ensure it is.
Really? You insult our efforts. We tried everything.
I doubt it. Broken spears. These Romans really did try everything.
I love it every time. I doubt it. Oh, never mind, they did try everything.
They got it right. This way is completely blocked. That earthquake must have altered the structure. Strange. This wall is not as solid as it looks. Must be a way beneath. Around!
Or, you know, through?
What's this?
I knew there was a way.
There he is, the legend, Bayek.
This is a tighter squeeze than the caves west of Siwa.
We were smaller in those days.
It's like, Bayek, you're eating too much.
Where to now, my love?
It must be through the sewers. No one had the courage to plunge into these rivers.
We are the ones. After you, Aya.
The crocodile. The dead one. Kinda waiting for Bayek here. Because it's gonna be dialogue with Bayek every now and then. In between the different stages you have to go through here. There he is.
That was one big crocodile. May its soul rest in peace.
About time you showed up.
I was guarding your rear.
My rear is fine.
Love a banter between Bayek and Aya. It's also a bit competitive in nature sometimes. Okay, anything on this side? There it is.
Incredible. I hope you will provide me with a similar sarcophagus.
Whatever you want, my love.
It is said that his sarcophagus is full of honey, helps preserve the car.
Oh, unbelievable.
Promise me you will bury me with my blade, so I can protect myself in the field of reeds.
Promise. These markings along the bottom. They speak of Siwa, the vault, and a scepter that Alexander holds. A moon stands in a field of trees, where a marked sphere meets its scepter. Man to king, king to god.
A marked sphere.
What did you do with the orb I gave you?
I gave it to Apollodorus. He loves those things. We should let the others in.
I'm going to keep looking around. These paintings on the wall.
Yeah. So Apollodorus has the Apple of Eden now. And it's only a matter of time until the Order of Ancients finds out about it.
His birth. He was Macedonian, A Greek that became Egyptian. Like me.
He began the rule of our latest pharaohs. Dynasty of Ptolemies that have ruined Egypt.
I like this back and forth as well about the interpretation of Alexander the Great.
He founded Alexandria and brought us the great library, where Aristotle mentored him.
He abandoned education for bloodshed.
Not unlike us.
I mean, she's not wrong about it, I guess. But I think it's not as black and white. You know, the intention is also important. If it just to enrich you further and, you know, secure your borders beyond what they initially were. Expansion. That's a different motivation.
Here is when he crowned Ptolemy Legos as his successor.
So the rule of the Ptolemies began. And the Magi's ended. Magi's disappeared because of him.
You cannot blame one man for everything. All men are to blame. And women. He was hailed as a savior when he first arrived in Memphis.
He was a conqueror.
I like the constant knocking, because it kind of like showcases how important the tomb is, you know. Like they know that we are in here, and they can't let us secure all of the secrets that the tomb has to offer. Because just moments away from us here is the Staff of Eden. And the one that Alexander the Great used, also to his advantages. And that's something they want to receive as well. Gotta make it ready for the entrance of Cleopatra and Caesar. And Apollodorus.
Immortalis.
The stuff he is holding. The markings.
Ever since I was a boy, I've idolized this man.
He is similar to you.
I wept at the base of his statue in Rome. At 30, he was a god with an empire stretching across the known world. What have I done with my 5 long decades here on Earth? Tell me, did you faint?
Together we can do more than Alexander did.
Yes.
How long before the Queen stops impressing Caesar and starts impressing us?
Our needs are hers as well. She will deliver.
My Caesar, our emissaries have been captured at the southern garrison of Alexandria. Soldiers have reported a hostile environment.
Captured? Is this Ptolemy's diplomacy?
I will send my guard. Greek soldiers will pass more freely through the city than Romans.
Let us settle this matter, my queen.
Flavius, come. Look. found the great king.
Okay, gonna pause real quick before the next cutscene happens, but there's like so much going on here. First, you know, Apollodorus is the only one really spending attention on the staff, because moments before Aya kind of like says that she also gave the Apo to him, because apparently he's super interested in those kind of like artifacts, which is why he immediately recognizes the markings of a staff as like something of similar craft and potential power. It also makes you wonder if Apollodorus really has like some sort of you know, ancestry towards the first civilization. There was even like a theory going around that he could have been one of the sages, which would make 2 sages in the game, along with the son of Ra. I'm not too sure if his eyes really are like 2 different colors. They sometimes do look like they are like slightly different colored, but I'm not too sure about it. But it wouldn't be the first time that they kind of like displayed the sage without similar different colored eyes, which has happened before in Unity as well with Jacques de Molay. But yeah, that's just more of a, you know, theory. Nothing of it has ever been confirmed. But yeah, the other thing is, you know, obviously Ptolemy wants to form an alliance with Caesar instead of Cleopatra. And the Order sees in this a chance, you know, both that we have now discovered the staff, you know, is a chance for the Order to go in and create a conflict. So they can kind of play sides against each other and take a hold of a piece of Eden. And Flavius, you know, being like the leader of the Order, he's of course the most cunning, because he's manipulating Caesar as well now, and ultimately getting Caesar to also join the Order eventually. But yeah, he made a plan with Pothinus and Septimius, I guess, to create a conflict between Ptolemy and Caesar by taking hostages. And then making Caesar believe that Ptolemy is responsible when, you know, it's more like the Order's plotting, really. Like, yeah, you know, Ptolemy and the Order are working together, but they're also more like manipulating a boy king than anything else. So honestly, I kinda pity Ptolemy in this game. Like, yes, he's not a good pharaoh, but he's also been manipulated and groomed by the Order for a very long time. But yeah, so that's why a conflict happens eventually, and why the siege of Alexandria even gets to occur the way it does. Because otherwise, you know, like Ptolemy, of course, logically speaking, would be a better ally to Caesar because he already has the support of the entire army. Cleopatra is like kind of like wanting to claim the throne for her, but hasn't done so successfully yet. And I mean, Ptolemy killed Pompey, or at least Septimius did, so it's definitely a danger that goes out from him. Hey there, Aya, welcome in. You never got the part, makes a lot of sense. Hi, by the way. Hey there, welcome in. And yeah, no worries. Definitely glad to be explaining those kind of things, because it's definitely quite interesting given how much is happening at the same time as well. But yeah, I think this chapter is actually really done well, but also I feel like you definitely have to understand some of the historical characters and their positioning to each other, because the game doesn't explain too much at this point, of course, until like later in the game. For example, you don't really know yet that Flavius is with the Order technically, you know, if you play this for the first time, which would take away an entire like layer of it if you don't have that information. But yeah, also about Pothinus's and Septimius's rule, historically speaking, because they are actual historical characters. And Septimius was both like a Greek commander, I guess, but also Egyptian commander, but also one of the mercenaries, I guess, of the time. So he also did stuff for money. And he did historically also assassinate Pompey. But yeah, I might actually read up some of the Wikipedia articles for both Septimius and Pothinus. Just to understand the role and the whole conflict a bit better. Maybe once you get to fighting both of them during the Battle of the Nile.
Taking on the entire garrison will not be easy.
I may not have to take on the entire garrison. A calculated kill and a shadowy presence will fare better.
If you take on the armies of Ptolemy, I would like to be at your side. I will distract the garrison with a brawl.
A fine idea. I will procure the emissaries.
I love the missions where Bark and Aya are fighting together. It's also cool seeing it from Aya's perspective. The loadout I currently have for Bark is actually quite fitting for the mission because he's gonna create like a brawl. But Aya tries to go in stealthy. And with like the blunt weapon that he has and you know, the shield and everything looks quite tanky and heavy.
They will attack on sight here. Don't ring the alarm, please.
Got a clean target.
Hey now! You're dead!
Die!
Finish the damn job!
I come to save you.
We need to alert Caesar.
What happened to you?
Septimius. They are preparing a siege of the harbor. They want to take the palace. I will not betray Caesar!
How many more heads must I chop off before Caesar understands?
This is futile. A change of plans. The Lion says we must march on the Pharos and trap the Queen.
Then they said... They left for...
Where? Where?
Okay, so here's the next part of the plan of the order. Now that they've got a hostage, they're kind of like trying to bring Cleopatra in a position where she's by herself and can be taken more easily. Because Caesar, of course, has used some of his forces elsewhere. And with Flavius being, of course, first in command of his forces, Flavius has direct influence of where they're gonna be to expose Cleopatra, which then would allow the order to go and trap the queen and bring her to the lighthouse. But yeah, if it wasn't for Aya and Balk, they would have probably succeeded with this plan, but I have a driving factor here
This guy may
for
have
this not to happen.
information. I need to bring him back to Caesar.
Because when I say the line, they of course are talking about Flavius as well. Since that is his title in the order.
I should find a horse.
It's so funny, you can do this in Origins. Just throw down your bodies that you have to carry somewhere. And they're gonna survive. They're gonna be just fine. I've had some proper strength there with Aya. Doing parkour while carrying a dude. That's like next level core strength.
I'm heading to the Serapion. Praying is our only hope left. The gods have been enlisted.
You have loyal men, Caesar. Septimius plans on trapping you in the palace. You have no time.
As I foresaw, war. Flavius, they want fire. Let us burn the whole damn harbor. And if we change the Pharos light, the rest of the fleet will know what to do. We will join them by chariot.
Salve, Lord Caesar. I will make the order.
My queen, you should accompany me into battle.
As these soldiers rip each other apart, I shall stay on my throne. I am queen until a sword plunges through my heart. And even then my blood will stay on my throne.
Good then. I stay. My life is yours to do with as you will.
Now, the most crucial part of the plan. Put this into the brazier of the Pharos. She will accompany me through the city. Now, let havoc reign.
Aya, if you find my brother, Ginestoy.
I smell war! We will put our queen on the throne.
You are the only queen worthy of the throne!
Give me the powder. Caesar thinks a woman cannot do this job.
Prove Caesar wrong, my love.
Oh, she definitely will. I do like this, you know, that Aya's kind of pointing this out. And, you know, it's like more of an ambition for her to, yeah, prove Caesar wrong. In his thinking that, you know, only Bai could do this. But yeah, now of course the Order gets exactly what it wants. A conflict between Ptolemy and Cleopatra and Caesar. In a way, Flavius also resembles the Roman occupation of Egypt, you know, through the Order, actively manipulating Caesar into going into certain conflicts. What the fuck? I have no idea why I decided to go into the water there. I was like literally just moving A forward towards the next beam there. Do we actually ever saw that desync animation for dying here? Awesome.
Someone crush that tiny lotus.
How did she get this far? Halt, little woman!
Just kill her so we can deal with the real problems, these Roman malacas.
My blade is offended.
You remind me of the Alexandrian horde I am gifted by the Order of Ancients. Perhaps I will keep you around.
Now you've offended even my vulgar heart.
This Pharos is Ptolemy's. Be gone!
This Pharos will only burn for Cleopatra.
Alright, time for you to take flight. But he never fits through. He's just a big... Hey there, Afro, welcome in. How's it going? Do I get to the Cloud District often? What do you mean? You've been playing Skyrim first time ever? Ah, nice. Yeah, that's a game I still haven't played actually. That's been on my list for a good time as well. How are you liking it so far? Oh nice, I can actually sing the viewpoint. Schiller. Hey there Schiller, welcome in dude. Ahoy. How is it going? Hope you're having a nice Sunday. Effort's quite impressive for its age even today, the sheer vastness of it. Yeah, it looks like quite a massive open world with like lots of stuff to do and like lots of ways to get distracted. I really like the kind of like night ambience in the snowy area. It's definitely a vibe. Very good. Sunday is good so far. Nice. That's awesome. Babs is trying to make the baby nap. Oh, nice. But I hope it doesn't take too long for the baby to fall asleep.
How in Zeus' name did you kill my captain?
Ptolemy's men are breaking through our line.
No! Wait until I see the signal. I can't believe you trusted a woman to do something of such importance. How are the fleet to receive their orders?
Patience, Caesar.
Die is cast! Come! We go to the battlefield! Medjay! Cover the retreat!
Many men have doubted Aya. All have found themselves dead by her blade.
Hi! Hi! Hi!
Foreshadowing much.
Out of the way! Brace yourself! Hard left! You better be as fast with your bow as they claim or we will be dead!
You focus on driving. I will keep these fools at bay.
Get to the chopper.
Speak of your countrymen!
Any who would give up on our people is no countryman of mine.
There's a lot of them behind us! To the back! We're surrounded!
I am working on it!
Work more quickly! Behind us! The chariot gains! I hear more gaining on us!
I'm shooting as fast as I can, Roman! That is not good.
What is it?
Hope we don't find out, Caesar. Faster! Perhaps we can outrun it. You'll face it. Ready yourself, Caesar. This is worse than any battle you've yet had.
It can't be that bad!
It is Osiris himself.
Osiris?
The arrows are only making him angrier. Hold the chariot steady.
My focus is on not being trampled, Egyptian!
I have an idea.
Just get rid of the damn thing! The lighthouse approaches quickly! We'll run out of land soon! Throw harder! There! It's the fleet!
I have nothing left to throw!
Any time, Bayek! There will be songs of us, Bayek! Now, we must join the ships! We will be heroes! Sword and mind!
I do like that moment between Caesar and Bayek. It's like, we did it. It doesn't matter if there's like differences, you know, between them. Or like different opinions, but going through that together and surviving, that would like bond anyone together, I guess. It's just like a cool moment, I guess, seeing them together like this. How's Origins going? You are close to the end game. That is true. Yeah, there's not too much left now at this point. I mean, still a decent bit, especially doing 100%. Yeah, we're gonna make our way to Sarene quite soon. After going to Siwa, of course. I still have to explore the deserts, but that, of course, is, you know, quite barren and not many locations there. And that's like a bit of a catch-up I have to do with some of the locations and the areas I've finished already. But yeah, making good progress. Also with the Discovery Tours, we finished Heraklion earlier. So there's not too much left for that mode either. Mostly also in Sarene in connection to like the Romans. Caesar seeing his own future. Hey there, Dr. Darling, welcome in, dude. How's it going? And yeah, very much so, you know. Many men have doubted Aya. All of them found themselves dead by her blade. Quite literally what happens to Caesar. Am I counting the trials of the gods of 100%? Those ones I won't be doing as part of 100%. Mostly because I kind of like repeatable quests, but also like time-based, I guess. So if I don't manage to catch one in time, then I have to wait another week to get him. But also because they're not really of historical relevance, right? Because I'm more like animus glitches, pretty much, or like completely animus-based fights. So yeah, going forward with Assassin's Creed games, I probably really try to do it like in-depth. Perhaps even doing 100% for some games, but mostly focusing on the content that has like historical relevance though. So yeah, that's also why I skipped the Final Fantasy quest. The one where you receive the shield and the sword, because yeah, it's just like more of a gimmick quest, you know. And it's not really canon either. And historically kind of like unimmerses ourselves. So yeah. That being said though, I do like the Trial of the Gods, you know, challenges. I think they're fun boss fights, or at least they can be. And they also have some very good gear as well. Arguably one of the best swords in the game, really. With like high critical hit chance and damage and health on hit or something. But if I want to have a detailed look of what I'm doing as part of 100%. That's everything I will be doing.
Runs 3 stadia. According to our speculatores, Potinus leads the charge.
Keep the soldiers distracted, Caesar. I will handle Potinus and Victoria!
Really love that cutscene there as well. Just super badass seeing everyone fight there. The death of a soldier for Caesar was kinda metal. The way he just executed him there. Almost out of kindness.
Rouse yourselves! Alarm!
Okay, so before we go ahead and actually kill Potinus, I would like to showcase his Wikipedia entry in the Historical Research Center. So we're gonna go and make our way over there. And have a bit of a read up here. So, Potinus, a eunuch, was regent for Pharaoh Ptolemy the 13th Theos Philopator, so Ptolemy that we see in the game, of the Ptolemaic kingdom. He's most remembered for turning Ptolemy against his sister and co-ruler Cleopatra thus starting a civil war, and for having Pompey decapitated and presenting the severed head to Julius Caesar, according to some sources. That's why Septimius says how many more heads do you have to chop off before Caesar understands, because it's quite literally what they've done. And that also goes to show you how close the game actually is to the history. It's a bit confusing playing it for the first time without having that knowledge, you know? So that's why I wanna read some of these entries today, especially for both Pothinus and Septimius to understand their role a bit better in the conflict, but also as part of the order. Because that's of course another layer added to the, you know, lore of a game that isn't exactly historical, but still gives you a bit of understanding. When Ptolemy XII died in 51 BC, his will stated that Ptolemy XIII and Cleopatra VII were to become co-rulers of Egypt, with the Roman Republic as their guardians. Ptolemy XIII was underage and Pothinus was appointed as his regent, and thus starting the corruption of the order on Ptolemy. The general Achillas and the rhetorician Theodotus of Chios were also guardians of the Egyptian king. When Ptolemy and Cleopatra were elevated to the status of senior rulers, Pothinus was maintained as the former's regent. Most Egyptologists believe that Pothinus used his influence to turn Ptolemy against Cleopatra. In the spring of 48 BC, Ptolemy, under Pothinus' guidance, attempted to depose Cleopatra in order to become sole ruler, while Pothinus planned to act as the power behind the throne. They gained control of Alexandria, then the capital of Egypt, and forced Cleopatra out of the city. She soon organized her own army and a civil war began in Egypt, while Arsinoe IV also began to claim the throne for herself. So see how it's like literally like a game. And you could really see how like the whole like order is trying to manipulate behind the curtain, you know, like super well as well. Rome was also enveloped in a civil war, and after his defeat in the Battle of Pharsalus, Pompey sought asylum in Egypt. Initially, Pothinus pretended to have accepted his request, but on the 29th September 48 BC, Pothinus had the general murdered, hoping to win favor with Julius Caesar, who had defeated Pompey. When Caesar arrived, he was presented with the head of Pompey, but he responded with grief and disgust, and ordered that Pompey's body be located and given a proper Roman funeral. Pothinus had neglected to know that Caesar had been granting clemency to his enemies, including Cassius, Cicero, and Brutus. Cleopatra used Pothinus' mistake to gain favor with Caesar, and eventually became his lover. That's also interesting, you know, because initially they actually tried to win Caesar's favor by sending him the head, right? Because Pompey was basically also making a claim to Roman influence that Caesar kind of wanted to have for himself, I guess. Not realizing that Caesar, you know, would mourn another, you know, important Roman people. At the same time, I guess he's also thinking, you know, what if this happens to me? Caesar then arranged for the execution of Pothinus and the marriage of Cleopatra to Ptolemy. In the last chapter of Commentaries on the Civil War, however, it is described that Pothinus arranged for Achillas to take Alexandria, and upon sending a message not to hesitate, but to fulfill the plan. The messengers were exposed, whereupon Caesar had Pothinus imprisoned and killed, probably with a knife. His death occurred during the 10-month siege of Alexandria. 10 months. But yeah, I mean, the siege of Alexandria was like a bunch of skirmishes and wars, really. It wasn't just like one event, it was like something that took a long time. Only Roman and Greek sources have mentioned Pothinus. He is thus criticized for his murder of Pompey and his insidious behavior with regard to Caesar, but both measures are generally believed to have served to keep Egypt out of Caesar's civil war. As it happened, however, Caesar came to emerge as a sole credible contender for his position of power. With Pompey dead, and the Roman Protectorate installed in Egypt. That's kind of cool. He's actually been mentioned a couple of times in different medias. For example, in the play Caesar and Cleopatra, in the 1934 film Cleopatra, where apparently Cleopatra kills him. Then in the 1963 film Cleopatra, again. Then in the 2002 TV miniseries Julius Caesar. In Caesarion, episode of the television series Rome. Then in the Judgment of Caesar. And of course in AC Origins, where he's an antagonist, where he's depicted as a member nicknamed the Scorpion of the Order of the Ancients, a precursor organization to the Templar Order. In the game he's assassinated by the protagonist Phylake during the Battle of the Nile. And that's of course the one we're currently doing, which is apparently in early 47 BC, so we could already change our title now. Because this kind of like confirms that the year has already changed, even if the game hasn't shown that yet. It only said like 3 days later. But yeah, it is the next year now. Also, Mitch, welcome in, dude. How is it going? How was the rest of AC Rogue today? Thank you so much for the raid, dude, and welcome into all of you raiders. Thank you for joining AC Origins. We're currently in the BC era, during Caesar's and Cleopatra's time. And yeah, we're doing something called Historical Order playthrough, where we play through a bunch of different historical games in historical chronology. And we start initially with human evolution, then went to the Primal Age, and yeah, then we focus a bit on pre-dynastic and dynastic Egypt, and we're now at the late stages of ancient Egypt at the moment with AC Origins. Thank you for the follow, Marvaban. Welcome in. And yeah, it's going good, Mitch. Thank you for asking. We're currently in a pretty major battle. The Siege of Alexandria, so I've been showcasing some Wikipedia articles on some historical important persons of the conflict. And yeah, looking a bit behind the curtain. It's really cool actually, because the game is very faithful to what we know has happened in the conflict. But yeah, how was the rest of Rogue? I hope you found many blueprints today. I honestly can't wait to start newer AC games. Searching blueprints in AC Rogue is getting harder than you expected. I don't blame you, dude. Yeah, it also took me quite a while when I've done my 100% run of Rogue, which I've only done once, I think. But yeah, those blueprints, like finding them and then of course finding their solution, I felt was a lot more difficult than it was in Black Flag. Especially with all the different maps and stuff, right? But yeah, how many do I have missing now? We found 2 blueprints only, but one is the Elite How Armor, which is a really good upgrade, 100%. That would definitely make some of the harder fights, if you still have to do legendary ship battles, a lot easier. Definitely one of the most important ones. You think you missed 3 or 4, but you're almost done? Awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be good once you get that done, because yeah, I remember it was quite a time-intensive process as well for me. So once you finish the blueprints in Rogue, will you be doing more content, or will you be finishing your playthrough afterwards? It's gonna be cool seeing you play the newer AC games and what you think of them. It's definitely interesting that Arsino doesn't even get mentioned much in the game though. Because technically Caesar and Cleopatra defeated not only Ptolemy but also the Queen. Oh yeah, so she was like another sister of Ptolemy that she ruled with. Because for a time Cleopatra also ruled with Ptolemy, also a sister brother. But yeah, she was only the half sister to Cleopatra though. So for a role in conducting the siege of Alexandria against her sister Cleopatra, Arsinoe was taken as a prisoner of war to Rome by the Roman triumvir Julius Caesar, following the defeat of Ptolemy XIII in the Battle of the Nile. Arsinoe was then exiled to the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus in Roman Anatolia, but she was executed there by the order of triumvir Mark Antony in 41 BC, at the behest of his lover Cleopatra. Of course, Cleopatra found a way to kill her after all, even if it was 6 years later. Carbon Mitch Blueprint, last legendary ship, break playing Prince of Persia or maybe Pokemon Black. Sounds like a nice plan, dude. So almost done then. Yeah, I've been also thinking about playing some Pokemon soon actually. Even already worked on like a kind of like overlay and stuff. So the next Pokemon game I would play would be Ultra Sun, because it's the next generation I hadn't played yet. And yeah, kind of like worked on a bit of a overlay already. What's currently missing is like the kind of like display of the team members, because you can actually install an application called PokeLink. And that can keep track of what Pokemon you currently have in your party. And you can even decide how you want to have them displayed. You can do like old school Xbox Color, Game Boy Color, or you could go ahead and have it like as an animated, like 3D model, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's gonna still wait a little bit. But I think at some point in the next weeks or so, I'll probably start a playthrough. Have you played Pokemon Black before? Six years later, yeah, that's a long time to hold a grudge. Especially with Cleopatra being in the advantageous position. Unlike her half-sister. You like Pokemon Sun? You haven't played Ultra Sun, but maybe in the not near future? Yeah, I was thinking if I play Sun Moon, Ultra Sun, or Ultra Moon, and ultimately looked at the like exclusives, I guess, to the version, and I like the ones in Ultra Sun a lot. And from what I understand, Ultra Sun is like a slightly better version of Sun, so yeah, gonna go with that one this time. So your last one was actually Pokemon Sun then, and you played Black. I really like Black. What I liked about it was that you had like an entire new Pokédex with like only new Pokemon, instead of, you know, just like having all the old ones reappear. Made collecting the Pokédex a bit easier, if you try to. And also, give me a sec. Okay, where was I? Yeah, I liked how it was like an entirely new Pokédex, you know, with like only new Pokemon to find. Kind of like an approach I wish more Pokemon games would do, because while I like having the classics, you know, I don't know, it gives it like more of a unique flair, I think. Hey there, Stanley, welcome in, dude. Carbon Raid, indeed. Hope you're having a nice Sunday so far. Where does Pokemon Sun fall in the historic order run? Good question. I guess in the year that it came out, so like, I don't know, 2013 or something. It's gonna be a long time before we get to that one in the historical order run. Very first time you've played Pokemon Black, you are finding the Pokemon animations weird, but then you started liking them. Yeah, sometimes it can take a bit for one to get warm with like certain stylistic changes. So I definitely understand that. But yeah, I liked Pokemon Black quite a bit. Was a good one. Alright, now to kill Potinus. Just one more thing I wanna check here. Ah yeah, have pretty good equipment here for this fight. Let's do it.
Meet Jugurtha! She wishes to make your acquaintance!
Prepare yourself!
Come, Jugurtha! Charge! The gods have entrusted me with your demise!
That insane order comes to an end, Potinus. Face your judgment.
They went too far in Siwa. I knew it then. But I just wanted peace for Egypt.
Your peace leaves many wanting.
This is inevitable. A good rule always does. My apologies, Bayek of Siwa. My fee is covered, it seems. Now may I go to my glory.
There is no glory left in Egypt.
No worries, Mitch. Enjoy your lunch.
The damned eunuch is no more. Good. The Speculatores found Septimius. He is in the village beyond. I will distract his men while you capture him. We must know what he plans.
You would think your spies would already know.
They have their limits. But they claim Aya has the scent of that puppet king. So they also have their uses.
Then Ptolemy is already caught. I will finish the rest.
Alright, that's another target down. Potinos. Cheers, Mitch. Thank you so much, dude. I definitely will. And yeah, definitely catch you next time. Enjoy your lunch. Hope it's something delicious. Now for Septimius.
Ah! The fool finally comes. You will see your gods soon.
You will find yourself in the door soon. Stop! You will find my story soon. You will face judgment, Septimius!
Did you miss me?
Stop, Bayek! Septimius is Roman. We will deal with him under our laws.
He killed my son!
That's how he dies. Not to Aya, but to Aya looking away.
The Pharaoh is dead!
The random cat ball walking over Bayek in that situation. That was like total random chance there.
Everything for which we have worked for so long is now ours. We have defeated our enemies. Only I can lead Egypt into a new era of prosperity!
you stand with Septimius now and we are banned from the palace?
I do not begrudge the venom in your eyes, but listen for a moment.
Speak quickly, or you will find yourself at the wrong end of my blade.
Your services are no longer needed. Cleopatra has granted you gold. I am sorry, Aya.
Sorry? We gave her everything. We gave her that damn crown, and she stands next to him.
And where is justice for us? Septimius was supposed to be judged by Rome. Is Caesar protecting the order?
There are compromises to make a queen of Cleopatra.
The man who killed our son is your ally. We're going to do whatever it takes to kill him. You realize?
Caesar blames you for the death of Ptolemy. A pharaoh, a god, I cannot change this.
Be damned what Caesar thinks. It is with Cleopatra that I made the pact.
Give me time, Aya. I will ease this for us. Until then, I beg you, be careful. Not everything is as it seems.
Ah! Traitor.
With all my words, I have nothing to say now.
Cleopatra has been poisoned by Rome, and we by her treachery. We will burn with Egypt.
The order is stronger now. They have Rome.
I will deal with this.
Hold on. I was wrong. I am responsible. When my boy died, I fought back with rage and anger. But this only made them stronger. We are all different. But we fought together to put Cleopatra on the throne. Now this was a mistake, my friends. But at least it brought us together. Now our enemies are hidden behind crowns, working in the shadows of kings and queens. Who are the ones that work in the shadows for the people? We are. Something has come of all of this, and it starts right now. We must continue the fight and defend the free will of the people. And no matter how small, our brotherhood is the only hope, and our kingdom needs no crowns. What we believe in, our values, our creed, will unify us. And I promise that for all the songs of Egypt, I will be the father I was not that day in Siwa. To the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood!
You were right. I trusted the wrong goddess. There's a question that yet lingers. Septimius. He took Alexander's stuff. Why?
Indeed. He and Flavius had too much interest in Alexander's tomb. We start there.
Alright. So much that has happened here. But yeah, we have just witnessed the actual origin of a brotherhood. And that's why it was good to do it in the quest order that we've done, to also include Tahira before doing the whole main story in Heraklion, because otherwise her appearance here would make very little sense, I guess. Which actually makes me wish it was kind of mandatory to do if she appears during the main story. But yeah, the betrayal of Cleopatra, and with Bayek's and Aya's path, what they've already done, has really led them to this point. You know, it's we just continue doing what we've always been doing, but this time we don't do it in the name of a ruler that has betrayed us, a goddess that has, you know, kind of betrayed us. But this time we do it just for the people. because the people will always, you know, need the help. So I want to check on the quest order to see if it already continues here with the next part of the quest or if it's something else I am to do before. Let me just check. Ah yeah, so we're gonna definitely finish the Aftermath quest first. I also want to go ahead and change my outfit now, because we've been going for this look for quite a while. I'm just gonna go for Bike's regular outfit at this point. Pothinus was among the more restrained members of the Order of Ancients. He favored use of brutality only in the most extreme situations. Nonetheless, he presided over the events that led to Chemo's death, and ultimate responsibility remains largely in his hands. He met Anubis after an unfortunate elephant ride. Septimius the Jacko. Strong, imposing, and athletic, Septimius is the motto of a Roman legionary. Serving with Pompey during his war against the pirates in 67 BCE, he was then stationed in Alexandria, where he became enamored with the adopted country of Egypt. Now he and the Gabiniani are tasked with protecting the royal family. Right, let's carry on.
I will destroy Cleopatra for what she has done.
We must focus on the issue at hand.
What is left, Bayek? Tell me one thing left for us.
Siwa. The rest of our land. We cannot stop now, Aya. We have yet to find Chemo's killer.
Yes, we will not falter there.
Guards, ahead!
Another pile of bodies will prove our point. Oh. Yes, we will not falter there.
Τι συμβάν, παιδες! Λέξον, λέξον!
It has been too long since we were together for longer than a few days.
Has it? It seems but moments.
Aya, it is not easy, this path we walk.
Only if you look at it as days and not goals, Bayek. Come, we must hurry.
I should be cautious around here.
Heavily fortified. Behave, my love.
You think you can tell me with that?
Apollodorus!
We must move quickly.
You shouldn't have come.
At least we belong here.
Someone we can choose.
Flailing. You will live, fool.
Flavius was behind the door. I'm sorry. Flavius killed your son. They were here. They took the orb from me. They've gone to Siwa.
Siwa?
Bayek, Aya. Your people are in danger. Go now!
Fare thee well,
Champollion. To the House of Hades. Completely silent. The animals too.
Some sort of plague has hit the village.
That viper Flavius did this.
We should have ripped out his entrails long before now. Let us get to the vault.
Hey Verrod, welcome in, dude. And how's it going? How was the rest of your stream? Thank you so much for the raid. And welcome to all of you raiders to AC Origins. We're doing something called Historical Order playthrough, where we play through a bunch of different historical games in chronology of events. And we're currently at the tail end of ancient Egypt. We just arrived in 47 BC. And we just finished the Siege of Alexandria that Caesar did with Cleopatra against Ptolemy. How's it going, everyone? Hey there, Ave, welcome in. And good day to you. I'm doing well, thank you, Ave. You're having a nice Sunday over here so far. Decided to play a bit more Origins. We could get another major story point done here. But going good. Definitely getting closer to finishing the main story. It's also pretty heavy spoiler territory, so just a fair warning to those of you that haven't played Origins yet. Because, this is kind of like revisiting our home and seeing how much it has changed, but also finding out about some pretty important antagonists. So just as a fair warning. Prophet's really good progress. What percentage are you up to? Stream went well, you got through a few levels. Have about 6 missions left, you think? So we'll finish the game next Saturday. That's awesome. It also sounds like you made some great progress there. And also with a Go challenge in mind, of course. I would imagine that would be quite tricky at times. But it's really good that you don't have to reload the entire chapter though, in just a checkpoint. That game looks really good. It's also, of course, the newest Splinter Cell game, I guess. But it looks really nice. Also the parkour and like climbing and stuff sometimes. Looks quite dynamic. But I'm honestly not too sure about my percentage, because when I go to the Ubisoft app, it only showcases the percentage overall for like all the progresses and playthroughs that I've done. So that one is just locked to 100% pretty much. But if I would have to guess, then I would say probably about 80-85% done. So looking at the map, we have discovered all the main quest regions and done most of the locations there. There's still a bit of a catch-up I have to do, but ultimately I only have the deserts left here, which of course are kind of like barren of locations, so I'm gonna get that done quite quickly. I still have the Phylake to do on the isolated desert. But story-wise, most of what I have left now will be in the Green Mountains and Sarene. So definitely closing in. Target-wise, of course, we have now killed Potinos the Scorpion. It was also pretty cool because I looked up some of the Wikipedia entries for Pothinus and Septimius, because they are actual historical characters, of course, that had a huge impact on Cleopatra and Caesar fighting against Ptolemy. It's really cool how, for example, Pothinus has been grooming Ptolemy since he was, you know, a young king, pretty much, and trying to influence him to go against Cleopatra, really. So it's like a really cool way of like tying it in historically. And the game actually seems to be very, very accurate to, yeah, what is known of the time. On the first time playing playthrough, you can of course be a bit confused sometimes about their importance. But yeah, it was really good like reading up some of the history behind them, because it really helps sorting kind of like their influence, I guess, and how they really try to act behind the curtain, actively trying to manipulate the kings and rulers against each other. There was one part that was a pain because there were 10 enemies and some lasers to avoid, and took multiple attempts but got through. Such relief to have not to reload an entire mission. Makes the process much quicker too. It definitely would be. But that sounds damn tricky. Sounds almost like a James Bond kind of mission, you know. Gotta avoid like 10 enemies perfectly, you know, situated everywhere in every corner. And then also laser to avoid. And probably like a chopper or something. I reckon the Mission Impossible soundtrack would be quite fitting for that mission. Doing like a ghost challenge. That's awesome getting that much done so far, and also playing on the hardest mode. Absolutely. What has helped is that I don't play with auto level on, so enemies will stay on their level, which makes being over leveled definitely an advantage to have. But yeah, it's good, because otherwise it just makes the game artificially harder than it needs to be. But yeah, definitely happy with the progress we've made. But yeah, I've been thinking though about not including the DLCs for this playthrough, because I've just recently done it, of course, like quite recently. And I've been already spending so much time, of course, in a short amount of time, but I've been spending definitely some decent time on the main game with 100% and doing all the discovery tours. So I've been thinking about calling it for this playthrough after I finish all the discovery tours and everything 100% of the main game. But I'll make a final decision on that once we actually reach that point. That's interesting, there were real figures, didn't actually realize those two were. Yeah, me, not either, honestly. But it makes you wonder how many of them actually are historical characters, because they seem to kind of like follow in the footsteps of games like AC2 and AC1, where they have like actual historical figures that actually died in certain years that they also die in the game in. Because at least with these two, it's like very, very accurate. And yeah, it's really interesting actually, because it makes so much more sense with like some of the cutscenes earlier, and also how Flavius is kind of like influencing Caesar too. But yeah, so basically one of the missions in Heraklion is that you find Pompey and his dead body and chopped off head, I guess, when his forces tried to arrive. And historically, Pothinus and Septimius were directly responsible for Pompey dying like that. In fact, Septimius was a Roman like general and mercenary. That was also, of course, in charge in protecting the Ptolemaic family, which is actually explained here in this entry. That he served with Pompey during the war in 67, and then he got tasked with protecting the royal family, so they used like their influence over the Ptolemaic army to take it against Pompey, kill Pompey, then sever his head, then send it to Caesar, actually as a favor, because they thought Caesar would take it kindly, that they would receive Pompey's head, because, you know, Pompey being like another person claiming influence over a lot of the Roman, you know, territories, which they thought would kind of like be something good for Caesar, because like one less competitor to worry about, I guess. And yeah, Caesar ironically didn't take too well to it, because it was a Roman, you know, that got killed in a horrible manner. And Caesar was actually not too happy and pleased about it, which is why he ordered Pothinus to be killed. It's quite interesting, because we saw that there were a couple different media covering this. For example, 2 films, one in the 30s, one in the 60s, called both Cleopatra. And I think in the 60s one is even Cleopatra killing Pothinus. But yeah, in Origins, of course, it's Bike doing it. But yeah, there's a lot more context you get by looking up their actual story, which kind of makes me wish they had like a database in the game, because which just adds so much more context. And would definitely lead to people being less confused, I think, about it. Because there's not even a discovery tour, I think, that covers Pothinus as a character. With Caesar and Cleopatra looking at the entombed Alexander the Great, and Flavius turns up. If you wait there before going off with Bike, there's some dialogue where Flavius tells Caesar there's some people he wants to introduce him to. Really? Now that one I actually missed. But yeah, that's really good, because it really ties in well to why Septimius is all of a sudden, you know, friends with Caesar when Cleopatra's announcing the new republic pretty much with his staff, you know. Because as a player, first time playing, you're of course left wondering, okay, why is Septimius not being punished? Because moments before, in the Battle of the Nile, Caesar's essentially saying to Bike, stop hitting Septimius, we will deal with him under Roman law and he's gonna be punished accordingly. But then, you know, of course he isn't, and that's of course because the Order is already sinking their teeth into Caesar and trying to be friends with him, as they've tried previously with delivering their head to Caesar of Pompey. But yeah, they succeeded, of course, because Caesar, I reckon, would see in the Order quite an influence that he can use for his own advantages. But that's so cool that, you know, there's a quote of Flavius telling Caesar that, because it really ties in quite well. But yeah, there's so much you can miss in this game, right, like dialogue-wise. In this playthrough I didn't really focus all too much on the optional dialogues, because I wanted to focus more on the historical parts and less on the lore parts. But that's one part I wished I kinda had covered, because it ties in both lore and historical wise. But yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. You never saw a Cleopatra movie with Elizabeth Taylor. A database in this game would have been awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, I saw it was Elizabeth Taylor starring in it. When we had to look at Pothinus' Wikipedia article. But it's been cool though looking up some Wikipedia articles, because they kind of like act as a database in lots of ways. An additional external one. And yeah, speaking of which, now that we've also uncovered Septimius as our next target, I would actually also like to highlight his database or Wikipedia entry as well. Because it's gonna be a while until we get to meet him again. Until the end of the game, pretty much. Another important historical character that unfortunately doesn't really get displayed in the game for some reason is Arsinoe IV. She was actually the queen of Egypt during the siege, and queen to Ptolemy, who was again her brother. same as when Cleopatra and him ruled together as queen and co-ruler. But yeah, because she was on the opposing side of Caesar and Cleopatra, Cleopatra actually later killed or let Arsinoe be killed, her own half-sister. But that didn't happen until 6 years later, in 41 BC, through Mark Antony, which at that point was a lover of Cleopatra. But yes, I wanted to showcase Lucius Septimius and his entry here. He was a Roman soldier and mercenary who was principally remembered as one of the assassins of the triumvir Pompey the Great. At the time of the assassination in 48 BC, Septimius was serving the Ptolemies of Egypt as a mercenary. He was dispatched... Hold on. Okay. He was dispatched with orders to murder Pompey by Ptolemy XIII's advisors, who wanted to win the favor of Julius Caesar for their king. And this is exactly how it happened in the game, pretty much. Only they wanted to win favor. The advisors are in this case, the order, of course. And one of the advisors was Pothinus, really. So Septimius had served under Pompey in his eastern campaign in the 60s BC, and he was in the army with which Aulus Gabinius restored Cleopatra's father Ptolemy XII Auletes to the throne in 55 BC. So that's where the Gabiniani also come from, I think. Like the term of the military army. He stayed in Egypt as part of a mercenary garrison known as the Gabiniani to support the king. In the Commentarii de Bello Civili, Caesar refers to him as a military tribune. Septimius was a leading figure among the Gabiniani. When Pompey fled to Egypt in 48 BC following his defeat by Julius Caesar at the Battle of Pharsalus, he had hoped to gain their support along with that of a new Egyptian king, Ptolemy XIII, which is also the king in the game. Having been friends with Egypt's prior king, Ptolemy XII Auletes, however, the advisors of a child successor believed they could win Caesar's favor by killing his foe. The Egyptian general Achillas met Pompey at the shore in Alexandria accompanied by Septimius and a centurion named Salvius. They greeted him under a pretense of friendship and killed him upon landing. According to both Plutarch and Caesar's account, Pompey was reassured by the presence of Septimius, whom he knew from his earlier campaigns. But it was Septimius who had led the attack by stabbing Pompey in the back, when Salvius and Aquila joined in. Septimius then beheaded the corpse and removed Pompey's signet ring. The killing didn't placate Caesar, and in the ensuing war, the Gabiniani sided with Cleopatra's brother Ptolemy XIII against Caesar and Cleopatra. The fate of Septimius is not recorded. Also, hey there, OG Intruder, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Robert's punished. Yeah, punished, more like promoted. That's also something you didn't know. You wonder if there were any plans to have the story too, but were cancelled. That could be. Would have been maybe like one too many historical characters to deal with at the same time. You definitely get the feeling that they had to like, put it together quite fast towards the ending. So it wouldn't surprise me either if it might have been another like cut content. I was thinking the same thing with Tahira as a character. Because when you meet Tahira, she actually talks about meeting Balk again, so they have met before. And that the last time they talked, Balk was telling her about like some of the targets he was pursuing. Which also made me believe that there might have been like a cut quest or something with Tahira prior to that point. And then of course you don't even have to do those quests either, yet she appears during the initiation of a brotherhood. wouldn't have surprised me if she was initially to be part of like the main quest and then got cut. But it would have explained why she then appears forcefully during a main quest later. But yeah, who knows? There's so much cut content that never made it into the AC games. If you dig a bit deeper. Hey there, Kobe, welcome in. Hello there. You come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. I would too. I would welcome the burial of Caesar instead of his celebration. To kill a tyrant. How's it going, Kobe? I hope you're having a nice weekend. Thank you also so much for the resubscription. I really appreciate it. So in literature, later literary accounts often attributed Pompey's murder solely to Septimius, or placed the principal guilt on him. This is the case in the poem Pharsalia by the Roman poet Lucan, in which the fact that Septimius, a Roman, was doing the bidding of a foreign king is depicted as especially shameful. Lucan portrays Septimius as the archetype of a traitor. With what reputation will posterity send Septimius into these centuries? What name will this wickedness have from those who call what Brutus did a crime? In the Massinger and Fletcher play, The Fourth Swan, Septimius is the central character of the fourth one of the title. He also appears in the Pierre Corneille's La Mort de Pompée in 1643. In 1910, John Masefield treated Pompey and Septimius in his The Tragedy of Pompey the Great. He also appears in George Shaw's play Caesar and Cleopatra. In the play, Caesar forgives him. That's the same play that also Pothinus is played in too. In popular culture, in the video game Assassin's Creed Origins, one of the main antagonists referred to either as Lucius Septimius or as the Jacko is based on him. This fictional version of Septimius is the second in command of the Order of the Ancients, the precursor organization to the Templar Order. Additionally, his story is greatly expanded from the historical record, being pardoned by Caesar and serving him until his assassination on the Ides of March, shortly before Caesar's own assassination. I'm gonna open this one for later, once you actually get to the point of the story. The weekend has been very nice. Today is for packing for Italy, going to Lake Garda again tomorrow. Hell yeah. That sounds, Garda, sorry. That sounds awesome. I definitely hope the packing process is going well so far. Definitely hope you have a great time there too. And yeah, my weekend is very nice. Having a chill day today. Been out with a doggo for a nice Sunday walk. Made some French toast earlier. Yesterday we had Levy's mom visiting. We made some nice authentic Mexican food for her. Because it's been a while since they've both been to Mexico. We made something called chilaquiles, which is basically corn tortillas fried up. And then you kind of like put them together with salsa and serve them with like a crema and like fried eggs. Super delicious. And we made everything homemade too, like from the corn tortillas to the frying to the salsa itself. Pretty nice food for sure. You rather play? Oh, you did? Nice. Did you like it? Ages ago, a video game called Assassin's Creed Origins, huh? Not sure which one they're talking about. But it's kind of cool, like seeing, you know, how accurate Origins actually is to the whole like chapter of Caesar, Cleopatra, Pothinus, Septimius, Ptolemy. You can definitely tell they've done a great amount of research. The packing itself is still getting procrastinated. I feel that. I'm also more of a person that does it like very late in the day, before the day of my departure. Or at least, you know, like get the ground things set up, but there's of course still stuff I usually need even on the day of departure. So packing definitely isn't fully finished until before I leave. Oh yeah, it's very, very delicious indeed. You can make it with tomatillo salsa, like green or verde salsa. But you can also do it with red regular tomato salsa, which I honestly prefer. I do like salsa verde, but I think I still prefer like red salsa. You don't remember much? You think Cleopatra was kinda infantilized in there, or in the movie based on it? Not sure anymore. Fair enough. Yeah, there's been at least 2 movies called Cleopatra. One from the 30s, one from the 60s. It's kinda cool actually, because in one from the 60s she apparently killed one of the Order of the Ancient members in this game herself, Pothinus, one of the main advisors to Ptolemy. But there's so much to Septimius. Let's go back to the game. We have just arrived in Siwa, and Siwa has been affected by the influence of the Order, and by the influence of the Apple and Staff of Eden. Because now that the Order has both the Staff of Alexander the Great and the Apple of Eden that I gave to Apollodorus, they can use both to take control of as many people as they want, really. In this case, Flavius used the Apple to, I guess, start making experiments on people, you know, seeing how much he could control them. In this case, he wants to make the people of Siwa suffer. They probably don't even suffer, you know, they're just living in the illusion of suffering. Which, of course, itself is suffering. But it's so, like, basically an illusion, probably. Will Siva never know peace? Unfortunately, for now it doesn't. Hopefully soon. Again.
Take those intruders down!
Hidden one would take you now.
Hail to you, Osiris. Your limbs are lasting. You do not know corruption.
Corruption. One of the best ones. Whoops. I totally didn't mean to do that. Oh dear. Let's save it wasn't canon.
It was Flavius all along. He brought Caesar and the Romans here, hoping to take complete power.
We trusted him. We were fools.
Welcome back, Mitch. Hope you had a nice lunch, dude. What did you make? We love that one. Corruption. It's kind of funny how he like drags that Shan. Ah yeah. What a classic. It's like a lifetime ago that we've been here to kill our first target. Well, technically second for bike. The Ibis Meduna Moon. Huh? I just teleported up here. Simple gnocchi, not homemade, with tomato, basil and garlic sauce. Ooh. Dude, that's damn delicious. I love gnocchi so much. And I just love like a simple tomato sauce, you know. Goes so well with it. Never actually made gnocchi myself, homemade either, but I really should be doing that at some point. But it's definitely quite convenient, you know, getting some pretty good gnocchis in the supermarket. So I usually definitely stick to buying them there. The Checo actually has a really good gnocchi product. The Checo pasta in general is quite good, I think.
Danger lies there.
Got him. Cannot go wrong with gnocchi and tomato sauce. The Checo is one of the best. Really is. It was a revelation when I finally decided to just try it. Even if it has, you know, like a higher price tag, but it's definitely worth it. Totally not sponsored by the Checo. Yeah, you take one, I take one. Come on, do it. Never mind then. There's a higher price, but there's a very good reason. Indeed. You wish the Checo would sponsor me? I do. Yeah, that's definitely a sponsor I wouldn't mind making advertisement for, because, you know, 100% stand behind the product. You wish it too. I don't blame you.
The vault is opening! Run for cover!
Look, the vault.
And finally, it is opening.
Careful. We don't know what's in there.
We must find out what happened.
Bayek, Are we dreaming?
We have entered the Duat.
Who could imagine such a land as this?
No man should approach this close to the gods.
You know, just try to imagine being Bayek and Aya and seeing this. Like a holographic, you know, visual display. I mean, even to us today, this would be kind of like, you know, something to be like, wow. You know, even if we could explain why it happened. You know, having like a holograph like this in the middle of a room. I imagine being like in ancient Egypt and seeing this.
Who created this? The gods themselves. Here's the story of mankind. Bayek. Bayek.
It is Hepzibah.
My Sammy. Your life is done here in the desert dust. They took my closest friend.
We must rush to stop Flavius.
No! We cannot leave him here! He deserves a proper farewell.
Go ahead, Bayek. I am with you.
Hepzibah knew nothing of the Order. There was no cause for him to be killed. Flavius ripped out his heart as a message to me. It was he who killed Khemu.
My husband. We will end this.
Yeah, Flavius is gonna pay for this. Ripping out the heart of Hepzibah as a message to Bayek, saying, "It was me who killed your heart, who has killed your son." Indeed, rest in peace, Hepzibah. Such a great character, you know. I mean, he's been the one kind of like introducing you to the game, really, you know. And one of the first friends that you see Bayek have in the game, really. What's really cool is what I didn't cover in this playthrough is that you can go back to Hepzibah for more dialogue. And basically reconvene with him about the targets. So there's also more story stuff with him beyond the introduction.
Bayek. You found poor Hepzibah.
Rabia.
Great to see Rabia as well again. The healer of Siwa. Taking care of everyone.
I saw what happened. It was horrible. The Roman leaders entered the temple vault. Septimius and Flavius. The objects they carried opened it as if by a god's hand. Hepzibah tried to stop them, but they rendered him helpless. They entered the vault. A blue fire seemed to emerge. I fled to no avail. The entire village lost its reason and fell to the ground like dolls.
They have destroyed Siwa!
They must die!
You must put an end to this!
Bayek! Aya! You have the prayers of the entire village to support you.
Let us bring Hepzibah to his rest. Then, we will seek justice!
Let the embalmers come. We pray Anubis accept this ornament in place of his heart, such that Hepzibah may walk free in the field of reeds.
Hepzibah, old friend.
And there we are. The funeral of Hepzibah. Never wish this day would happen. But here we are, another victim to the order of the ancients. But you hate how they put the loading screen there with the music, ruins the music even when the music gets interrupted. It really does, you know, it's like something that irks me every time too. It's like a couple scenes where the loading screen is like ruining a scene like slightly. Also when you do the whole like dream sequence with the snake, you know, where you have to fight the snake and you then go finally into the Theater of Reeds after Bike receives his heart back. Before he meets Remo, there's like a bit of a dialogue he does while standing in the Theater of Reeds. And if you have like an SSD that just loads the scene too fast, it's just gonna skip past that whole dialogue that he has. Or monologue rather. Which is really frustrating too sometimes. But it's also a bit annoying with music because it definitely adds so much, you know, to the moment when Bike is saying, now let us seek justice after we have put Hepzibah to rest, you know. It's like adding another like dot at the end, or exclamation mark I guess, and it just gets interrupted. Makes you wish it was like programmed in a way where it was like a scene that has a finish before a loading screen happens, right? Even if it is just like going into black screen for like 3 seconds, just so you can hear the music until the end, you know. Hope it's so annoying as well, especially if we would try to cover like lots of dialogue, right? Because it makes it like pretty much impossible to hear it. You'd have to maybe like watch another playthrough to get it covered.
Hepzibah, I could use your help now, Seni. Hepzibah, where are you now, my friend? Walking in the field of reeds? Hepzibah, old friend. I miss our talks, Hepzibah. And drinking beer.
Requiescat in pace.
Requiescat in pace, indeed. That kind of thing, and when they make the dialogue activation point like right on the cutscene activation point. Yeah, that too. Just really annoying. That kind of like conflicts like that. Okay, so I can't talk to Aya right now. Gotta talk to Rabia first.
Bayek, Hepzibah would have wanted you to have this. The weapon he prized above all others.
I am honored.
Some villagers captured a Roman soldier and questioned him. Flavius is headed for Cyrene, and Septimius for Alexandria.
I will kill Flavius.
There's a farm at the border of Cyrene. Someone there may have seen Flavius pass through. As for me, I will cut out the heart of Septimius.
I feel as though wherever we go, tragedy follows. Perhaps we should come to terms.
It is hard. I don't want to let go, but...
Every time I think of you, I think of Hemu, and everything we lost.
Me too. So for now, we kill.
Farewell, Aya.
Yeah. It's good for, I think, that Bike finally initiates this talk, you know, because it's clearly something that's also been on Aya's mind for a long time. But Bike is definitely the one who's been holding on the relationship probably a bit stronger. You know, so it's like him also, you know, coming to terms with it, you know, realizing, okay, yeah, there's not really, you know, a way back, you know. like the Order is still strong, they still hold so much influence, you know, what... It's like an illusion to think, you know, that they could just go back to living together in their home in Siwa and pretend like nothing happened, you know, or just like live on. There's still so much in front of them in their path, and it means they can't be together for a long time. And again, you know, like Phylake is forced to go to Cyrene, Aya is forced to go to Alexandria and later Rome, you know, which just also drives them away from each other geographically, you know. That's of course one of the things they can't, or why they're like pushed away from each other further and further, because they're also forced to be away from each other for such long times. But they never stop caring for each other, of course, you can clearly tell. Also in the Hidden Ones DLC when they get to meet each other again. Hope if dialogue is so important and foreshadows the end, so for now we kill. It absolutely is. Both for the ending of the main game, but also for the ending of the Hidden Ones DLC. And finally, it's also time to talk to our son again.
It has been too long, son.
Yeah, such a small scene, you know, with such a big impact. Alright, so according to the quest order, I am to still continue with main quest and meet Praxilla at her farm first. But I won't be doing that today anymore though. What I will be doing though is I'm gonna catch up on a few important locations that we still have to do in the areas we've been to. For example, the Stone Circle, and we're just gonna have a look around for like any important locations that I definitely want to do on stream, because a couple of the quest marks we're gonna do off stream instead. Could also go ahead and maybe try some Phylakes. I won't be doing for much longer though. And also I will be right back as well in a few seconds. Alrighty. What you thought the stream was ending? Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing much longer today. But yeah, we're gonna do a couple more things though. Praxilla, she's a great character. I really like her as one of the main allies here in the ending chapter. Alright, so I would like to do another Stone Circle here, because I've yet to finish the Bike's Promise questline. Let's go to Yamu.
Whoa.
And also definitely still want to cover the Discovery Tour about the Siege of Alexandria today as well. It's one of the ones in Alexandria that I've been holding myself back from doing until we actually reach the point in the story of where it happens.
Papa, how do you know if you're in love?
Why, Khemu? Do you think you are in love?
I don't know. Love should feel good. You and Mom are the only ones I love. But this hurts. Sometimes I can't even think straight.
That sounds like love. It could be. I was once like that. I'm very sorry, son. The Scorpion goddess Serqet. She protected Iset and Horus from jealous Set. She still protects against poisonous animals. But not love. Against that, there is no protection. Not even the gods can.
So the one that Remo talks about that he loves is actually one of the persons you get to meet as part of the quest on the way to Cyrene, apparently. So I get to meet her there. Well, you kind of like left wondering if it's actually in the year 47 BC or like a bit later, technically. Because she's already like a young woman of sorts at that point. And of course, this is only 2 years after Remo Nishi died at the moment. In 49 BC. Okay, so... yeah, we still got the 2 Phylakes here. Let's make our way to the first one. I think that's the only one, only 2 I've actually been missing. Cyrene. Anyway, able to see if there was any dialogue with her after finishing the side quest she's associated with. But unfortunately there wasn't any more dialogue with her. I gotcha. It's cool though that you got to, you know, find that out finally. To know where she is and locate her. And see if there was. Definitely good to know for a future if you wanna like maybe do another playthrough where you wanna cover more of the dialogue. Like a couple of times before she despawned from the environment, you lost sight of her. Yeah, that would be tricky to make out exactly where she could be, because she could be like at the farm, or she could be like at the Oracle, or somewhere in like, you know, Serene or something. Maybe where her future lover is gonna be.
Papa, what is best in life?
To seek justice and truth. To live with honor. To protect the weak and the poor. And to love your mother.
My friend Kenan said it was to crush our enemies and to hear the lamentations of their women.
We are Magi, son. Not barbarians. Apis, the bull god. He is the strength of the pharaoh. Each year, he is born as a calf with special markings. The pharaoh finds this calf and worships it.
Ah ja, wie Arnie reference war. Remo with the Arnie impression. And you didn't even have to invest any channel points. Exactly, Rod. Remo the Barbarian. Cool reference there to throw in. The Conan the Barbarian. A freebie, so generous. Okay, we actually have enough ability points now to get the Adrenaline 2. But we always start a conflict with a full Adrenaline gauge. So we can like immediately use our overpower abilities. Okay, I've got a fast travel point here so I can take care of a viewpoint later. I just want to get to a Phylake for now.
dog!
Jesus, the 4 damage he got from that fall, it wasn't even that much. I took lots of damage there.
God has a prize for you!
Wow. I couldn't even react to anything. He stabbed me once and just did the combo. I spammed dodge there like crazy. Didn't do anything. You're not getting away so easily, dude. That 4 damage was crazy. It sure was for like the small distance that he actually did 4. Maybe it was like 60 years old or something. So every 4 actually mattered. But yeah, the nightmare damage was also crazy there. 1 combo and you're down. Probably give up dog is also what you say to a dog that wants to throw a ball it still has in its mouth. That's like my dog when she doesn't want to give a ball when playing. Or usually she very much does give it because she always wants to play more.
Do it!
That's a lot of people there, holy shit. Can you please the fire? Dude, what?
Hey, what?
You can't see me, dude. I'm like in the middle of a smoke bomb.
This day is your last.
It has come.
Never know what hits you. You are finished. Let's play a little game, shall we? Your death is ordered.
What?
Have been naughty.
Did you see that? 2 headshots went straight through his head and passed through.
God has a prize for you. I will find you.
Okay. Let's fire and board down. Let's get the Galatian as well.
Yeah.
No, you are finished. Indeed. He was. At the end. Looks like the aim is somehow not collimated right now. Yeah, it's definitely a bit weird. I guess because he was asleep at the same time, which kind of like changed maybe the model behavior or something. Thanks for GG's. One more Phylake remains.
Explain yourself.
Of course, there's again tons of people around him.
Your ability matches your insignificance. Hey! Is there a fire?
Hey! That key. Must be part of a set. Clearly they protect something.
You will regret that.
Well, that was a lot easier in the other fight.
The last key. Maybe I will pay that sad fishing village a visit.
Alrighty, so that is all of the Phylakes officially finished, which means we can also go ahead and finish the Phylake's prey quest, Phylake's prey quest next time. We also get one of the best outfits in the game, in my opinion. Oh yeah. Also got a new shield here, the Joseph's Pride, with sleep on block, very similar to the Medusa's Gaze, but just focusing a bit more melee resistance instead. What was the other item we got? Like a bow or something? Ah yeah, the fourth plague. Also pretty good. It's a health on hit bow, so very good for elephant fights for instance, or like boss fights in general, or nightmare difficulty. With the highest of precision. But yeah, this is gonna be everything I will do for today's stream of Origins. I want to primarily focus on getting the main story advanced to a point where I could freely explore again and take care of a couple question marks off stream myself. Mostly in the Raklian area here, up there. And then at a later point we can go ahead and focus on this area because there's still a Rebel storyline. and also a couple of tombs we've left to explore here. So yeah, that we're gonna take care of on-stream War. But yeah, for today, this is gonna be everything I will be doing for this stream. Thank you all so much for being here and for joining me. And we're gonna have a look to see who's online and we can shoot a raid today. Let's go ahead and have a look. Catch you next time, Dr. Darling. Have a good one. No worries, Rod. Thank you again so much for the raid earlier. No worries, Aya. Glad you enjoyed it. And catch you another time. No worries, Ava Stanley. Thank you also so much for being here. No worries, Kobe. I hope you have a great start to your vacation. Hope you enjoy some time in Italy. And I hope you don't have to use too many Italian insults that you have learned from the Ezio days. Or maybe just as a banter. Culo. Fanciullo. I don't even know what that means.
I will chant in praise of mighty men when I recall their names.
Yes, you chant of mighty men, Ezio. As soon as you start actually recalling their names.
Assassino! Hail to you, Osiris. Your limbs are lasting. You do not know corruption.
That one again. Speaking of Ezio, indeed. Yeah, maybe gonna find some minstrel singers in Italy, but you have to pay some money before they actually leave you in peace. Muovi il culo, smagiaso. Is that move your ass, smartass? Kinda sounds like it could be. Your pure ears, what are they hearing? I'm so sorry, Stanley. But you have to endure this. That's what the thief girl says when she teaches Ezio the High Leap. That's right, yeah. That's where I thought it was from. It's kinda cool in AC2 when they give you the translations in brackets. So you actually have like a way of learning like some phrases. Also, I forgot to give a shout out earlier to Rod. So for those of you that didn't come in with a raid, or if you haven't checked out Rod yet, then I would highly recommend doing so. He's also a massive fan of Assassin's Creed, and currently on the weekends he's been playing through the Splinter Cell series. With Blacklist he's doing a Ghost Challenge, which basically is, you know, a very stealthy focus challenge where, yeah, he's not to be seen and really behave like a ghost. He's also planning on doing the Tomb Raider games for the anniversary runs. And yeah, big fan of story-driven action-adventure stealth games. Lots of great content to check out over there. Also want to give a shout out again to Carbon for those of you that maybe missed it earlier. Carbon is also playing through the AC series, and currently he's working his way through Rogue. He's almost done with it. He's currently working on finding all the blueprints for the upgrades of a Morrigan, the ship in the game. And then he's gonna do the last legendary ship battle and then either play some Prince of Persia or some Pokemon. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out Carbon as well. Gotta get one of those beeping machines. Yeah. Yeah, that's like a filter you could create actually, where you basically mute yourself at the same time of playing the beep sound. It wouldn't actually be overly difficult to set up technically, like a mute beep like sensor button. A friend of mine has done that actually. But not only over OBS, but in general over his mic, because he had like an entire soundboard of those kind of effects. It was really funny actually. He said like, mother beep. But yeah, it would be a fun thing to utilize actually. Like one of those MTV reality TV shows or something. The good old days. Would be funny when Rod gets angry at the game. Would be censoring every second for 3 seconds. Until another connecting word happens. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid out to Lucinda today, because she's doing her last stream as a full-time streamer today, before she starts her new job, which means she's gonna be streaming a bit more sparingly going forward. She's playing one of her favorite games as well, which is Resident Evil 2 OG version. She's doing, I think, yeah, she's doing Leon A and Claire's second endings. Or playthroughs. That is true, Rod. It would be lots of redacted. That could be another funny sound bit to kind of like utilize. Either like a beep for redacted, or like literally like someone saying redacted every time you like read a note in Control. Just play that sound bit. But yeah, either way guys, we're gonna go and raid over to Lucinda. If you wanna join us, there's some raid emotes in chat. And I will catch you again in this coming week with more of Origins. We're gonna try to finish our playthrough. And also of course more Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Gonna maybe also push to finish that as well this week, as it is a bit shorter. Until then, hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and I will catch you next time.